Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, and I want to say Shalom to Yaknakwat out there, pursuing His truth diligently, coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one's going to be titled something along the lines of GRLA Hebrew or GRLA tries to come against GMS and lies, right? Or, something along those lines. And this is in response to a couple different lessons. It's in response to the daily live stream that Apostle Gabar had made from today. Yep, sometimes I end up watching, the yesterdays or whatnot. And I was just scrolling through here because I ended up watching most of it. I think like 2 hours and like 10 minutes through. Or no, it's 2 hours and 3 minutes. I have it up on my phone. I got an hour and 42, so almost 2 hours through it. An hour and 42 minutes and 50 seconds through it. This is on my computer though, so I was searching through it using the transcript. And because sometimes the transcript does or doesn't work on the phone, but either way, I was gonna do a lesson on it. So I was, scrolling through the transcript, trying to find some things, some talking points that the Apostle Gabar made. So this lesson is really inspired through this lesson, but this lesson was inspired by another lesson as well, which was done by the beloved apostle, of course, made this, but the beloved elder Manata Zatba down there in South Carolina, who I'm always shouting out. He made a lesson titled Response GRLA's Malicious Attack on GMS, hashtag pegging, hashtag blame game, hashtag Hebrew Israelites, right? Which really, I mean, Hebrew Israelites shouldn't even be in there. And I'm not getting on the brother. I'm just, being funny. Hebrew Israelite shouldn't be in there because Al-Azhar said he's not a Hebrew Israelite anymore, right? Of course, not that there's anything wrong with the elder's, title here. It's just funny to me because, this guy, I'm sure he's talking about, we're all, in this ministry, and it's news for Hebrew Israelites. But this guy, GRLA, I mean, he self-proclaimed he's not a Hebrew Israelite, or he's not associated anymore, right? So I thought, that part was a little funny. But of course, want to extra put it out there. I'm not, condemning the brother or anything for putting it in there, because yeah, I get it, right? I just thought it was funny. But going back, so it's in response to this lesson, in response to this lesson, which is in response to this video here, right? I had to find it. This one right here. And this is GRLA Hebrew, his page. All right, I guess he just goes by GRLA, and GRLA, GRLA. All right, which I came up with a couple different acronyms. All right, if you don't know what an acronym is, well, we can define it. Acronym. All right, is a word formed. The initial letters are part of a multi-word phrase. All right, like NASA, FBI. All right, so it's a word, a sentence, or a word, or a name for an organization that's made up by acronyms. Now, I don't believe this is an acronym. I believe it's just like GRLA, like the GRLA, like this, a member of a small independent paramilitary force that uses unconventional hit and run tactics against a larger, better equipped force. Which, again, is kind of a dumb name to name your ministry. I mean, because, again, we're supposed to abstain from all appearance of evil, and you're naming your fucking shit after, guerrilla group, guerrilla marketing, guerrilla, a paramilitary force is really what it would be. But whatever you want to call yourself, if you're guerrilla debating, guerrilla marketing, guerrilla, whatever it is, guerrilla tactics of some sort, it's, that started really with a paramilitary force. But anyway... I came up with a couple different acronyms for GRLA, all right? I have a couple. I have three, all right? And I'm not sure which one my favorite. I think my favorite's the last one. The first one I had is gets rebuked, loses arguments, all right? GRLA, gets rebuked, loses arguments. Another one would be goofy reprobate, lacking anointing, all right? Or anointment. Okay, no, really, it would be anointment. So goofy reprobate, lacking anointment. What is it? If you look up what is anointment in the Bible, okay, it says it's spiritual anointment. Anointing is the physical act of pouring or rubbing sacred fragrant oil on a person or object. Spiritually, because we're dealing spiritually here, it symbolizes divine selection, setting something apart for Yahweh's holy use, or empowering an individual with the Holy Spirit to fulfill a specific purpose. This guy's not anointed, All right, not anointed at all. So goofy, reprobate, lacking anointment. And then last of not least, probably the most harsh of them all is generally retarded lion ass. Right? So those are a couple of acronyms. Free to use them as you will. Feel free to use them as you will. You know, I just did them for fun. But yeah, generally retarded lion ass. All right, that's probably the one that fits this guy the most. All right, and well, the one that fits him most is goofy, reprobate, lacking anointment. All right, because this guy, he's a fucking goofy reprobate. What is a reprobate? Reprobate. Let's look up what reprobate means. An unprincipled, depraved, or morally corrupt person who lacks a conscious or moral compass. And I'd say it's pretty depraved to be shoving shit up your ass. So this guy, that's what this guy, you know, that's what happened with this guy. The whistle was blown, all right. The wall was blown open, all right. The fucking prison cell was, or prison door was blown apart. The bank door was blown apart, and all the goods inside were just, you know, brought out for everybody to see. And this guy got fucking hurt through his shirt and decides, you know, and all this shit that's going on, you know, he's trying to catch a whiff of some controversy. Nobody's fucking talking about you barely, man. All right, you're done. All right, you stuck some shit up your ass, and or was going to stick some shit up your ass, or allegedly was going to stick some shit, and that got blown apart. That one got fucking brought into the mainstream media. All right, the media in this case being, you know, the brothers that are pushing this out. All right, that's likened to media. All right, because what is media? Define media. All right, media, communication channels, all right, to store, transmit, and deliver information or entertainment. Well, we're not for entertainment, but these are communication channels used to store and transmit and deliver information. Primarily edification, okay? That's edification is information, is it not? So yeah, the media, you know, in this case, you know, our version, the Hebrew Israelite media, all right, i.e. these lessons and all these pages, all right, that we have, all right, blew the door open on your ass and exposed you, right? So, and look, Genesis lied on GRLA Hebrew. Oh, they lied on me. GMS lied on me. Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here and cut your fucking hair, all right? While I'm at it, all right? So, this guy's ridiculous. And this guy's a complete reprobate. He's a complete demon. He's a complete effeminate fucking sellout, bug out, all right? And this guy didn't last not 1 second in GMS. He went in and went out, all right, because he was part of a GMS. And people like to try to bring that up like GMS was wrong. Oh, he was in GMS. Yeah, not very long. The apostles, I'll tell you, as soon as he came in was about as soon as he went out. All right, because he already had fucking issues. This guy was a reprobate. He was weird. He was doing weird shit. And he went in and he went out. All right, he went in and he went out. And that, you know, that's what happens with these individuals. They don't last. All right, they don't last. Okay, and now again, I always like to say, preface it. All right, because I never try to be something that I'm not. I'm not in GMS, but I teach the same way as those brothers because they're the ones who taught me through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, through the internet ministry. All right. And that's who I learned from, all right? And that's what I believe wholeheartedly in sincerity, because you're going to expect me to think that GRLA, GRLA Hebrew or IUIC or ISUPK, they got, I mean, ISUPK out of everybody, you know, other than GMS, they're the closest to getting it. You know, they don't go off quite as frequently as the other camps, but they still go off, all right? IUIC, they definitely don't fucking have it. I mean, I'm not trying to be united in Christ. I'm trying to be united in Yahweh Shai. Okay, so I'm damn sure not going to listen to someone that says the name's not important. And I'm damn sure not going to listen to some guy that in his spare time likes to fucking shove pegging tools up his ass. All right, I'm not going to listen to that. Okay, so I'm going to listen to GMS, where you get the whole unadulterated, pure, non-fucked with, non-touched with, non-molested, non-adulterated truth. All right, and if you want to get it, well, you know where to get it. All right, GMS and their true affiliates. All right, well, you know, the true affiliate camps, you know. Which would be like, I know there's more, but I always mention the Men of Valor. All right, they're one of the only ones that I know that is really GMS talks about prominently, at least. All right, and again, like I said, I used to consider myself affiliate, but after the whole affiliate order or disbandment that Apostle Dahar put out, you know, just out of respect, I'm not going to call myself affiliate, because he said no more affiliates. It's the same reason why I don't give double honors to the apostles anymore, because they said no, if you're not in GMS, noble honors. All right, so again, out of respect for those elders and apostles, all right, those who I learned from, I'm going to listen to them. All right, I'm not going to do it. But again, much respect, much love under the apostles and elders, great millstone, the brothers on down. All right, that's who I learned from. I'm letting it be known where my alliance is set. All right, my alliance is set with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and GMS are the true disciples of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in this current earth age as we're in now. And if you want the truth, well, you know where to get it. All right, GMS and those that teach like GMS. All right, but again, vet your teachers. All right, make sure if they say they're teaching like GMS, make sure they're really doing so. Right, don't just take my word for it because I say it. Listen to my lessons and see if I mean it. Right, again, you know, fact check me. Right, So, because if I were going off, I'd expect to be corrected, right? I would expect to be corrected. I would expect someone out there to correct, just like the apostles and others say. Look, if I go off, correct me, right? Because I would expect to be corrected. Why? Because I don't want to get destroyed. Correct me if I say something wrong, right? So, anyway, back to this guy, GRLA, all right? Generally retarded lion ass, all right? And that's what he is, and we're going to show that today. You know, this guy is really just trying to catch a whiff of the controversy. No one is talking about you, man. You get brought up every once in a while, but really no one on a whole. And I know, because I watch the lessons. I watch the lessons by the apostles. I watch the lessons not so much by the brothers, because really, you know, I stick with a couple of the brothers hardcore to watch their lessons, because I mean, they're heavy, man. And I'm addicted, right, to the apostle Gabar, the apostle Har, and Elder Menatazat by here. That's why you see them up at the top, because I'm watching them constantly in the apostles live stream. And not to say I don't watch other brothers, I do from time to time, but primarily I'm watching Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla. He never shows up in the fucking subscription page for whatever reason. I always have an issue with that. You always got to dig for his page. I don't know what they're doing with the because it's GMS Infodoc channel 12, but I always got to fucking dig for it. It's always somewhere. It's actually higher up than it usually is. It's always like way down here and something. I don't know. I don't know how they keep your, I guess, I don't know what you interact with the most or something. I don't know. I couldn't fucking tell you. Or recently, things you've recently subscribed to as well. But anyway, where was I going with it? Anyway, nobody's really talking about you too much. I know, because I watched I mean, you do get talked about. You get brought up, you know, every once in a while, like, oh, that guy GRLA, but, you know, they're on a grand scale of things, you're not really getting brought up like that. All right, sometimes you get brought up as an example of what not to do, but I mean, you saw this whole thing going on with the deacon, all right, and because you were running with Sakari like he was running with Sakari, you feel like you gotta, you know, say something or catch a whiff. I don't even know why you're still making content. I thought you were taking a step back or something. I mean, you know, the deacon's taking a step back. I thought you took a step back. Anyway, these guys, really, they're just controversy specialists. That's what they are. They want to be, you know, they want to be known. And really, you got blown apart, just like Hakaz getting blown apart right now. And you're just getting exposed. You're getting, you know, you're talking, oh, exposed, and Genesis lied on, you know, no, you got exposed. Hakaz getting exposed. And, you know, that's what happens to reprobates. That's what happened to people that do shit that, how do I want to explain it? People that do shit that they don't want in the limelight behind closed doors, all those motherfuckers and end up getting exposed. And how I, personally, you can use this, brothers and sisters, if you want, how I refrain from getting exposed of sticking shit up my ass is one simple thing. I don't put shit up my ass. It's that easy. Right? If you don't want it to come out, and that's one of the big talking points on this lesson, if there's something out there that you don't ever want to come out in the limelight, then don't do it. Okay? If I never wanted to get exposed by, you know, getting shit stuck up my ass, well, the biggest thing I could do is not stick shit up my ass. If I didn't want to be exposed by doing drugs secretly behind scenes, then I wouldn't do drugs secretly behind scenes. If I didn't want to be known as a gang member, well, I wouldn't be gang banging behind the scenes. And this guy didn't really do it behind the scenes. He let his alliance be known. And that goes back into scripture. Let's go and get it. This is Luke 12:2-3. It says, "For nothing is covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known." So if you don't want to be known as the guy that, you know, is getting or getting or attempting to be, you know, fucked up the ass by his girlfriend or wife or whatever you want to call her, then don't be the guy that wants to get fucked up his asshole by his wife. I'm being vulgar, but again, some, you know, time and place. All right, and this is one of the times where it calls for vulgarity, because this is what this guy wanted. He wanted his fucking rim tickled. All right, and then Slocky for the vulgarity. You know, he wanted to be a fudge packer, a Hershey's pirate, and then, you know, and it doesn't matter. Oh, it's not with a guy. It doesn't matter if it's with a guy. You're not supposed to be sticking shit up your ass. You're not supposed to be sticking shit in asses. You're not supposed to be doing none of it. All right, you're not supposed to be doing none of it. Okay, so and that's just, you know. But anyway, you're not going to listen anyway. But again, if you don't want to be revealed as the guy that likes getting pegged up the ass, well, then don't be the guy that likes getting pegged up the ass. Right? It's that simple. Because the Lord cracks open doors, he cracks open walls, he cracks open vaults, he cracks open closets, and everything that you're doing ultimately gets revealed. So I live a life where anything that I'm doing, all right, I wouldn't mind if it got out in the limelight. Right? Of course, there's certain like things that like certain private things that you don't like. Obviously, you know, if you had your wife sends you some nudes or something, you wouldn't want those out in the open, obviously. But I'm talking, those aren't wrong to do. Your girl sends you a dirty photo, she's your girl, right? Nothing wrong with that. Of course, we won't want those out there, but that's not because, oh, it's wrong. It's just because we don't want our, that's you're not supposed to be showing that shit off, especially because, one, it's adultery, other men looking on that, and two, it's private. It's the same reason we don't want to be seen as naked. All right, that's a shameful thing to be seen. But I'm talking about things we do in our life. I can tell I play video games sometimes, not that much anymore. I make patch jackets, right? Battle jackets, right? That's the thing I've been doing lately. I'll tell you everything I've been doing. All right, you can go and look at Battle, BATTLE jacket. All right. These, all right, mine don't have spikes on it, but make one of these patch jackets. All right, who started that was they're heavy metal, because I'm into heavy metal, and I'm on all sorts of music. I like some pop music, heavy metal, alternative, folk music, jazz, blues. I like it all. I like all sorts of music, indie. All right, not too big on electronic. I like some old country, but it was Bootsy Collins. All right, Bootsy, not necessarily just Bootsy, but Bootsy, and he was really popular for the jackets and doing the patch jackets and all that stuff, and Parliament, they were, I mean, look at the vest, right? So if you really want to get down to it, it's Jake. Jake always starts everything. All right, Esau, might semi-popularize it, but it's always Jake. I do that. What else do I do? I look into and write stuff for Dungeons and Dragons sometimes. What else do I do? Sometimes I go to stores. Sometimes I go to thrift stores and look around, see if there's anything's cool. Sometimes I collect VHSs, because VHSs are cool. I'm into the retro stuff. That's pretty much it. I don't really got much going on. I'm kind of a boring guy. Go to, fun to me is going out, maybe, grabbing a sandwich or something out, and going to a thrift store. That's seeing what's there, right? Or looking at antique stuff or something like that. That's just things, discovery. That's pretty much the only things. I don't really live a very fun life. All right, I'm not going to clubs. I'm not partying. I don't throw parties. I don't do any of that. I listen to music, sit and listen to music. I watch YouTube videos sometimes. That's pretty much it, man. It's pretty much all I got going on. And like I said, I just gave it all away. I'm not afraid, ashamed of any of those things going on. That can go out and be revealed. So, sometimes I listen to death metal that some brothers will, that sounds a little demonic. But like I always like to say it's not any more really demonic than listen to King Von and stuff like that. Again, death metal and stuff like that, and heavy metal, certain extreme metal. They talk about death and dying and stuff like that. Well, so does rap music for the most part. And rap music, I feel a more negative vibe off of. Really gets you in that ninja mindset. That's why I really try not to listen to it too much. Death metal, I might talk about chopping someone in half, but they didn't really chop someone in half. Rap music, they talk about shooting someone up 10 times. A lot of times, they were in a situation where they did something like that. So, like I said, I'll reveal that. I'll reveal that information. I listen to some crazy, extreme shit. All right, I listen to all sorts of different types of music. I like it. But there's none of that I would be ashamed of being. If I was ashamed of it, I wouldn't be telling you it. I damn sure wouldn't be putting in a video. So I'm telling you all those things to show you that if there's anything that you're ashamed of doing, then don't do it. Right? Or if you don't want those things, if you don't want to have to do damage control, and it comes out that you were, putting shit up your ass, then don't put shit up your ass. It's that easy. Because again, Luke 12:2, there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Same thing if you're talking shit behind doors, right? Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear and closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. Now let's get this in the NRSV, all right, as I've been using, because this is the scholar's choice, right? This is the Bible that's predominantly used in seminary schools, all right, by quote unquote scholars, and they're really not scholars at all. But Luke 12:2 and 3, in this, it says, nothing is covered up that will not be uncovered, and nothing secret that will not become known. So anything you've tried to hide like that, it is going to become known. All right. So the best bet is to not try to cover up the wicked evil shit that you're doing, and by not doing wicked evil shit. All right, that's what I would say. All right, that's the advice that I would give you, and I guarantee you the apostles would tell you the same thing. You don't want to be known as the peg pundit. Well, you shouldn't have been being a peg pundit behind doors. It wouldn't have been revealed because you wouldn't have been doing it, and it would have been that. And the Lord is the one who reveals this. It ain't us. All right, it ain't us. All right, we are starting with GMS, the apostles and elders GMS, because they're the ones that gave us the information. We act as ambassadors of Yahweh Shai. Okay, so if you're going to be an ambassador of Yahweh Shai, you better damn well sure be being an ambassador. All right, and it's like a brand ambassador. If you don't know what a brand ambassador is, there's somebody that works with a company to essentially promote their brand. Okay, now this isn't a brand, but think about if Coca-Cola had a brand ambassador, but that guy was I don't know, in the Ku Klux Klan, and so they would cut that guy because he's bringing bad bad publicity, all right, to Coca-Cola. It's the same thing with Yahweh Shai, all right? If you're an ambassador of Yahweh Shai or acting as one, you start bringing bad publicity to him, all right? You start doing things that are wrong, fucking around in the background, he's gonna out you and cut you, all right? Out you and cut you. When you got outed and you got cut, all right, and now you're, sitting there back in the dark with your fucking lights off, being salty about everything, man, all right? Just give it up. So verse 3, therefore, whatever you have said in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you have whispered behind closed doors will be proclaimed from the housetops. Okay, so again, if you don't want to be known, I'll say it again, if you don't want to be known as the guy that sticks shit up his ass, then don't be the guy that sticks shit up his ass. It's that easy. And it's lucky for the vulgarity. All right, this isn't one that you probably want to play with the kids out, but it's again, the children, I should say. I hate using the term kid. But child, all right, with to churns, all right, with them out and about, because there's going to be a little bit of vulgarity in this one. But yeah, man, and another quote by the Apostle Gabar, excuse me. He said, and I wrote this down on the sticky note because when I was watching the lesson, if you brothers out there, one of a very useful tool, seemingly enough, is a sticky note, and I like it better than actually writing it down on the phone. All right, it's a pen and a sticky note. I don't know, it just flows better. I'm telling you, the spirit just flows better with a pen and a sticky note. Just scribble it down, and it's quick. So I wrote this down. He said, Alazar is like a hurt woman who got caught cheating. All right, it's true. He is like a hurt woman that got cheating. And what does a woman do when they get caught cheating? They double down. They're like, well, I still love you, baby. I still love you. It wasn't like that. I didn't mean. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. They try to no accountability. All right, and really, Alazar is really effeminate. All right, this guy's effeminate. All right, and the apostle got the scripture. I'll get it as well. Nor effeminate. I spelt it wrong, but it'll correct it. Nor effeminate. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and 9. It says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Be not deceived. No, well, in a good light. You're going to be there, but not in a good light, right? Doesn't mean you're going to be cast. You're not going to go to hell, right? So there is no hell. We're in hell, all right? And hell is the grave. Says, shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Be not deceived. Don't get it twisted, Alazar, right? Don't be deceived, any of you. It says, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. All right, and really, what you did was fornication. All right, in a way that was not yes and no. It was. It wasn't with another man, thankfully. But really, it's still fornication. Really to be sticking shit up your ass or sticking shit in your girl's ass. All right, you're not supposed to be doing that either, right? It says, so if you got that fetish, then get over it. It says, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. So effeminate, all right, and putting shit up your ass and having long hair and getting upset and crying on camera like that about getting caught. That's effeminate, man. All right, that's effeminate. So yeah, let's write that off. We already got that. Let's see. What do I have here? Some of these are a little scribbled down. Oh, providing. Okay. Providing. Like I said, I wrote these down a little hastily, so slack it. What do we want to get? And I got a lot of these just scribbled down hastily. So let's, what do we want to get? Well, I guess what we'll do is we'll prove one of the things that the apostle said. All right, I'll back the apostle up because he made a claim here. We'll start from right here.
And why certain individuals perverting the gospel. That's all we're concerned about.
Yeah, and he was Al-Azhar was absolutely perverting the gospel.
Right.
We'll stop right there. Let's go and look up perverting meaning. Okay, let me grab a drink of this coffee here at 6 a.m. 6:40 p.m. I like it before I do my lessons because it gets me a little bit wired up. It helps my brain work better. And they've already proved that coffee can help you with focus and stuff like that. It feels like instead of using regular fuel, I'm using high octane fuel, right? Also, it helps because, you know, I have what they call in the world ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Not so much hyper, but definitely the attention issue. All right, it's probably just due to Esau's, you know, chemicals and shit that they put in babies or whatever, or in the water or whatever they do. I don't know. There's a lot of people that born in the 90s. That's what the ADHD came out of. So I wonder what type of experiments they were running on us. But anyway, it's not like I'm retarded. My brain just works different. So I gotta hack the brain, man. So perverting. The fuck? What did they give me? Like, fucking what the fuck?
Perverting.
What'd you get me? Fucking Ulfric Stormcloak from fucking Skyrim. Perverting. All right. Anyway, what kind of weird accent?
Perverting.
All right. You gave me fucking Count Dracula over here. Perverting. Anyway, perverting is the present participle of the verb pervert, which means to corrupt, distort, or twist something from its original, natural, or intended state, meaning, or purpose. So yeah, absolutely, this guy Al-Azhar is perverting the gospel. I mean, you can tell one of the ways he's doing it is like fucking always has a goddamn hat on his head. All right, you're trying to twist it and like you can wear a hat. You can't wear a fucking hat, right? You prove that. 1 Corinthians 11:4. Every man praying or prophesying, and when you make these lessons, are you not prophesying? Having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. You're not supposed to do it. Okay? Anyway.
So, let's get back to the video.
Wicked, sorry. Fucking, I don't even want to call you black. You are black. You're black ass. Because you're a void of light. A fucking gang banging, pegging ass nigga.
Ain't he the same guy that said he has no affiliation with the Hebrew Israelites? Did we not see how many of y'all saw that video?
I remember it.
Saw it. Where basically he said, "Man, I'm not affiliated with the Hebrew Israelite movement."
Yep.
Why are you trying to get back? Why are you trying to sneak through the back door? Oh, I forgot. You are a backdoor bandit.
Yeah. I forgot that he said that. I was about to say that. I said, well, you know, Apostle, he all the things he deals with is in the back door. But yeah, so one in the chat, because he said put one in the chat if you remember that video. Yeah, I remember that video. I remember when that video came out. I can't remember how long ago it was, but I got proof that he said that. And I guess it was 10 months ago. Was it? It feels a lot longer than that. Let's see. There's this video. There's this one's. I just want to get a little short clip. Ooh, this one, GMS Inspiration of the Almighty. Okay, but you see how many brothers put a lesson out on it. You got the beloved elder, not the Zatba. Well, I guess we'll play this. All right, because this is right at the top. All right, no. All right, nope. So all these brothers though, all these brothers, they got it down. All right, let's see it.
I just got done talking about it. I'm not a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I just got done talking about it. I can't be part of the Hebrew Israelite community. I just got done talking about it. I can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
Can't be associated with the Hebrew Israelites anymore. The real deal. How do you become an Israelite? You don't become an Israelite. I'm not coming in representing the Hebrew Israelite community anymore. Nah, I ain't doing that. So somebody asked me like, oh, so what
You can tell this guy's fucked up and bugged out in the eyes. Always constantly moving around, constantly. Well, I mean, he said it himself. You know, he's constantly in a state of delirium, right? So, I mean, you can tell the delirium within the eyes. All right, what is delirium? All right, delirium. I think that's correct. Yeah. Sudden severe state of confusion and altered consciousness that develops rapidly over hours or days. It causes significant lack of awareness. impaired focus and disorganized thinking. All right, and this guy is always in a constant. I almost said this gaze. All right, but I mean it's pretty gay what he did. But you know, yeah, absolutely. This guy's in a constant state of delirium. He said it himself.
What do you identify as now?
And I don't know if this guy's got a lazy eye or what, but he's constantly always looking around. I mean, the guy looks like he's constantly fucked up, or you know, either alcohol or something. I don't know what it is, and he's constantly, you know, got it. It looks like he got a botched fucking facelift. You got your lip lifted up, all fucking making that fucking face, and all the fucking. What is that, man? What is that? It look like you're chewing on the side of your fucking lip constantly. Only time I make that fake is when I'm fucking trying to chew a dead piece of skin off the side of my lip. All right, fucking over here making that weird. What is that fake? What are you doing, man? You're trying to make it. If it's trying to make you look hard, it damn sure ain't working, man.
If you're saying you're not a so-called Hebrew Israelite, why lead a movement? Well, because it's a movement, and movements stop. But are actually cosplaying as the ancient Israelites. And
you're cosplaying as the ancient Israelites. So now you say, you know, so all that was bullshit then, right? So we're not the ancient Israelites. So who are we then? Please tell me who we are. We must know. If we're not, who are we then, Alazar? Who are we? Who are we?
And they are exactly like Christians because they're still picking and choosing the parts of the Bible in which they want to follow. The
Not
Israelites
true.
have been bamboozled, have allowed themselves to be bamboozled and continually bamboozle themselves. I just want people to understand the Hebrew Israelites consistently are shooting themselves in the foot. Nobody's taking it seriously.
Now, you weren't taking it seriously. All right? You weren't taking it seriously. What else? What else do we got? Here's a good scripture. Ecclesiasticus 19:30. A man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. And what is this guy? A fucking reprobate is what he is. Let's see. He actually wasn't in the truth when he was in the truth. Nothing has changed except the world knows how he gets down behind closed doors with the pegging. Absolutely. The peg pundit. I never saw this. GRLA Shebrew. I like that. All right, you get a overdue like for that one, brother. Sounds like he took a Judas bag, either that or bugged out. Oh, probably both. Yeah, look, this guy says both. Malak Dawada, 144K. Brother, not dude, but this guy. I said this guy, but not guy or dude, but brother. He might be a Judas, so I'm not defending him. But these camps have a lot of unwise men, puffed up spirits, and camps are talking. They basically turn into Christian church. If you want to learn from some great teachers, let me know. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, then why are you over on the brothers page then? All right, all these camps have a lot of unwise men. All these camps. All right, there we go with the fucking camp haters. Bamboozled Bati man. Yeah, you a Bati boy, a mama man. Right? Bati boy, mama man, blood clot, pussy clot. Alright? That's what you are. Let's see. Anything else? Bro misses being a Hoover, point blank. More and more, I think, I don't know if this guy was ever even a fucking Hoover. Alright, because if this is the motherfuckers they're letting into the Hoovers now, then I don't know, man. Y'all got to get your gangbanging under check, man. And I'm not condoning gangbanging. I'm just saying, if that's who you're letting in, you're letting in fucking booty hole players now. I don't know, man. I'd probably recheck the image, all right? Because Hoover Crips, they're supposed to be hard, aren't they? All right, I don't know. They got talked about in the or the Hoover Crip or the Hoover gang. There's a couple of them. Hoover Crip, yeah, Hoover Crips. All right, I was like, they're not the Bloods, are they? I know there's a bunch of banging that go down in Hoover, but known to wear orange, sometimes blue and orange. EBK, everybody killer. EBK, I thought it was ABK, anybody killer. But anyway, I don't know anything about gangbanging. You want to know why? Because I don't gangbang. All right, but this guy apparently did, for whatever reason. But anyway, like I said, this guy's just ridiculous. Right? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. You don't look good on anyone. I'm sure you're not making Crips look good. All right, you're damn sure not making this truth look good, and that's more important than the Crips, right? The Crips, being in the Crips can't get you saved. All right, the Lord can. right? So let's get where do we want to go now? Let's see. Let's just start up. All right, let's start up and show you what this guy's saying.
To us. We almost expected it.
Well, you should have expected it. And here's how disingenuous Elder Apostle Gabar is and Great Millstone is. Because why wouldn't you expect behavior that you taught us to do? You guys literally taught us to talk down to women, to beat and abuse women, to take women's money, to not take care of kids, to abandon women and children. This was literally prescribed by the elders of Great Millstone. We were young, impressionable in the faith, and this is what you poured into us. The very behavior you're saying you're not surprised about, that the sister is complaining about, is the very behavior.
And see, this guy he has a like I don't know if it's a nervous tick or whatever. But this guy, like, when we laugh at something funny. This guy is just sitting there fucking just laughing, man. Just nothing. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my water bottle. Yay! What the fuck is that? You know? That's again, like, I see why that brother dropped that comment. Excessive laughter and by his gait. And the gait, I believe, is the way you walk. Yeah, the way individuals' manner or walking or moving on foot. You know, it's the way you walk, all right? And this guy, you know, get that fucking Sideshow Bob spirit on him.
That you guys
and he's a liar.
Encouraged us to do. I remember being young. I come in.
All right, Shalom, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom to the hopefully elect. This video is going to be entitled Response
I'll play a little bit of this, let you hear the brother
to
speak.
a malicious attack, or response to Guerrilla Hebrews' malicious attack on GMS. All right, and this dude Pegasus, the big head peg master, is talking shit again. All right, now he did this video, and I haven't even had a chance to watch the whole video, but clips of it are already circulating among the brotherhood. Did this video, Guerrilla reacts to GMS and the Deacon scandal. And the 1 minute portion that you've heard so far, this nigga literally said that, you know, he was responding to Apostle Gabar's video he did, an 11-minute video, walk and talk, and he was just giving thoughts, you know. Damned if you're eating out of faith, I believe that was the title of his video. Anyway, this nigga, a la Pegasus, he talking shit, and he's saying that why was the apostles?
I thought Pegasus didn't exist, but I mean, Alazar, you know, he's showing that the Pegasuses do exist.
Surprised in the behavior that Deacon exhibited, because he said we were literally taught to down talk women, take their money,
which is all a lie, mind you.
Abandon women and children. That's complete bullshit. And if that's the case, Alazar, then why don't you hear more of these stories then? We can't control nobody. Why? We got wives, we got children. Why don't you hear all kind of stories from our women coming up saying that we abandoned them, or we beating their ass?
And the only part that you talk about talking down to. All right, well, what do you mean exactly by that? Talk down to meaning. Let's look into that. So it says, talk down to someone, speaking to them in a patronizing or condescending way, treating them as they're less intelligent, less capable, or less important than they really are. Well, I mean, if you really want to get down to that, that's the only part that might have some sediment of some truth. But I mean, we don't talk to a woman in a patronizing tone. Oh, you idiot, you moron. All right, now if a woman's being a moron, we'll talk down to them just like we'll talk down to, we're talking down to you right now, all right, because you're a fucking moron. But we don't just do it just for fun, all right, to our women. We're not just talking down to them constantly. But no, if someone, you see these videos where we get on these women, it's because we're getting on the wicked women, all right, just like we get on the wicked men, all right, and yeah, we're going to talk down to them, or we're going to speak to them in not necessarily in a patronizing or condescending way. Well, what is patronizing? All right, patronizing is what? Let's go and let's break down every word. Patronizing. behaving or speaking towards someone that seems friendly but conveys an underlying sense of superiority. Well, it's not. No, we wear our cards on our sleeves. You know, men are superior than women. They're above the women. All right, it's proof. All right, it says it right in the Bible. All right, the man is the woman is not of the man, but the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Excuse me, that's Satan. And that, you know, also that we're head, and also that a woman should be in subjection unto a man like she is unto the Lord. All right, that shows you that we have superiority. What is superiority? Superiority. We're not hiding that. All right, the state of being superior, higher in rank than someone else. And they say degree or quality than someone else. Yeah, are we in a higher rank than women? Yes, absolutely. Just like Yahushua is a higher rank than us, and Yahweh is a higher rank than Yahushai. Okay, there's an order. All right, Yahweh's over Yahushai is over man, man's over woman. That's the order. All right, if you want to go, now that's what it says in the Bible. If you want to go further than that, you can say that women are over children and children are over animals. That's it. That would be the full order. There's nothing, because a child, the only thing it can really rule over is an animal. Okay, and the only thing a woman can rule over is a child, and the things that a man can rule over is a woman and a child and an animal, right? So, and a woman, of course, a child and an animal, but the Lord, Yahweh, He can rule over Yahushai, man, women, child, animal, everything, right? Yahushai can rule over man, woman, child, animal. Man can rule over woman, child, animal. Women can rule over child, animal. Child can rule over animal. That's it. And then an animal can't rule over nothing. All right. And at no point should you ever try to get outside of that. So are we trying to hide any of that? But overall, the word talking down to is, we're not necessarily speaking down to them. That's not in a condescending or a patronizing way. We don't do it in a condescending or a patronizing way. What is condescending? A patronizing, superior attitude. Well, I mean, it could be a superior attitude because, again, we are superior. So when you're saying talking down to, what do you mean by that exactly? Because if you're using that in the sense that we're talking down to women as in stating that we're above them, well, then, yeah, men are. But if you have an issue with that, you have an issue with Yahushai. You have an issue with the Bible. You have an issue with Yahushai and the prophets. You have an issue with the Bible, okay? If you have an issue with that, okay? Now, if you're saying that we specifically go around to every woman, be like, oh, listen here, you moron, you bitch, and no, we don't do that, all right? Women that are being wicked, we talk to them just like that. Same thing with men that are being wicked, all right? We don't go around just talking down to people in a general sense of way. When we make rebuke videos, yes, absolutely, because they deserve to be talked down to. That's that's rebuke. All right, rebuke, all right, is expressing sharp disapproval or criticism because of their behavior or action. So yes, we're gonna criticize you. Okay, we're gonna talk down to you, as you would say. You are gonna be getting criticized. What does it mean to criticize? Criticize. Okay, to find fault with, to pick out flaws. All right, to evaluate, find fault, disapprove, condemn, lambaste. All right, criticize. Yeah, you are gonna get criticized. Some people would say that's being talked down to. All right, but no, talking down to is essentially, treating someone like they're beneath you. All right, and if you act in a way that is being on a whole beneath, then yeah, this is the only one that you might have a little bit of merit. All right, but on average, it's still bullshit. All right, talk down to. We don't just. And again, why is there a little bit of merit, but not? Again, you have to have it 100%. Talking down to, well, we don't just go around talking down to everybody. That's not how it works. All right, GMS never taught us that. All right, you don't just go around talking down. Matter of fact, as the scriptures say, live peacefully with all men as much as you can. All right, now when someone's doing something wicked, all right, might they be talked to in a position, in a way that seems like they're being talked down to? Absolutely. Or rebuked, criticized, scorned. Yes, absolutely. But we don't just go around. Look, a common rebuke, a common synonym would be patronizing, all right, or belittle. Okay, so if you go back to and you look into talking down to, well, where were we? Condescending, patronizing. All right, if you look into these terms, then you go back into rebuke. Do we have any rebuke synonyms? Castigate, a severe, harsh scolding or public criticism. All right, so that's what happened to you, Elazar. You had a public criticism and you got rebuked, and everybody saw it. There's reproving, to scold with a gentle, kindly intent, correcting a fault. Rebuke is more sharp. All right, there's reprove. That's why it says reprove, rebuke. Sometimes you get reproved, sometimes you get rebuked. One's harsher. Chide, all right, to express a mild displeasure, disappointment, or gentle scolding. To admonish, criticize gently. Censor, a harsh formal expression of severe disapproval. Again, there's different levels, different levels for different things that you do. Okay. Reprimand, a severe formal or official expression of disapproval. So again, I'd have to have some more context of what you really mean by talking down to women. And so, because if you're meaning talking down to by speaking to them in a state that they are the weaker vessel and that they are under men, then I mean, yes. But if you mean it as specifically going down and just being like, oh, look at this, you stupid woman, no. If you're a stupid woman, you're gonna get called a stupid woman. If you're a stupid man, you're gonna be called a stupid man. If you're a stupid child, you're gonna be called a stupid child. If you're stupid, you're gonna be called stupid. But we're not just going up to women and be like, oh, look at this dumb broad over here. No. All right, we don't talk to our women like that. Like, hey, bitch, make me a sandwich. No, we don't talk to our women like that. We're nice with our women. All right, we're sweet with our women. It's like, hey, baby, what are you doing over here? I'm a little hungry. Can you make me some food? Yeah. All right, and that's what a woman can do. But we don't say, hey, bitch, get some food on my plate. All right, we don't talk down to them in that way. Listen here, you lowly bitch. All right, you're gonna make me some food right fucking now, or I'm gonna knock the shit out of you. I'm gonna knock you so hard, I'm gonna spin your bill backwards like fucking Daffy Duck, you stupid hoe. We don't talk to our women like that. All right, we don't treat women like that. All right, but do we come from a position where we are in a position of superiority over women? Absolutely, the Bible says so. Okay, if the Bible says it, it must be true. So, like I said, I need more context of what you're really meaning by this, Salazar. So, does GMS teach us to talk down to women? No, not really, but it depends on what you're talking about. Do they teach us that through the Bible that that men are superior than women? Yes. And is that true? Yes. But on a grand scale of things, I'd still say you're full of shit on this. Because again, from what you're talking about, and I know what you really mean, you're trying to say like we're condescending and proud and rude and just like generally fucking assholes and cocky and like a bunch of dickheads, or like a prick to women, and we're not. All right, to the wicked women, all right, it might seem that way. All right, to wicked men, it might seem that way. To wicked effeminate men like you, Elazar, it might seem that way. But again, and the reason you think that is because really you're effeminate. All right, you're in the position of a woman. Okay, I mean that's just how it is. And that's fine for women to be effeminate, but you're damn sure not supposed to be being a feminine man. Okay, just like you shouldn't be being a masculine woman. All right, you should be an effeminate woman and a masculine man, not a masculine woman and an effeminate man. But in modern day society, that's what fucking has happened to society. But anyway, so I'm gonna still mark you off on that one. But like I said, that's the only one that has a little bit of merit at all. Okay, but it really depends on what you mean by it. All right, and like I said, I say it has a little bit of merit, but that's when I'm using my breakdown of it. Your breakdown is probably just what I said, talking shit and being a prick and being a dickhead in general to women that are even being nice or orderly. No, that's not happening. And I believe that's probably what you're talking about. And in that case, no, you don't have any merit. But if you really want to break it down, then yes and no. It really depends on which way you're coming at. All right, and I know you're coming out of the left field. All right. So, but if you're specifically, saying talking down to as in, from a position of authority over women, then yes. But I know that's not what it's really coming from. All right. You're trying to say that GMS teaches that, we're basically like a bunch of fucking dickheads that go around and beat women. No, we don't beat women. All right. No, we don't beat women. All right, that's not what we do. We don't abuse women. We don't abandon women. All right, or children. I don't know where you came from with this. GMS doesn't teach us. IUIC teaches about abandoning women and children. All right, and they do because they say if you have a Hebrew wife, you got to leave her. All right, so if you have a non-Hebrew wife, non-Israelite wife, you have to leave her. So I assume in that means your kids would also be abandoned if you're just fucking bouncing out on the woman because she's not an Israelite. All right, meanwhile, your child would be an Israelite because it came from your seed line. IUIC's got a lot of fucking issues that's going on, right? And they're a bunch of fucking reprobates and fucking morons as it is. And the Lord's going to destroy them unless, Bishop Nathaniel comes out and actually fucking reveals that all the things he was doing was fucked up and repents and says GMS was right. If that doesn't happen, then he's gonna fucking die. That's just how it is, point blank, period. And you, GRLA, it's late for you, man. You aren't part of the elect. You can tell, okay? You can tell. All right. Well, nobody can judge. Yeah, you can tell if someone's a part of the elect or not. All right. The Lord has given us signs. All right. And this motherfucker sticking shit up his ass, going around, and he's not a part of the elect. Okay. He's not. It's obvious. Anyway, let's continue to listen to. Well, I was gonna say this moron speak, but the moron's already done speaking. Now you got the brother speaking. Let's continue to listen to the elder speak a little bit.
You know, we down
About the moron.
talking to them and taking their money. I got a wife.
And that's the other
Almost
thing, taking their money. When are we that's the other thing. Let me write that down. Taking their money. All right, we ain't tricks. All right, we ain't tricks. All right, what is a trick? What is a trick? Slang. All right, and sometimes it's used for a prostitute, right? But it can mean something else too. What is a trick slang for a guy? There's another one. Not turning a trick. There's another. It's more of a West Coast thing. Let's see. Trick. Let's see. It's more of a lower end West Coast saying. Some people call him a trick, like a man that basically is makes his woman pay for everything. All right, because he's likened to a trick essentially, right? A trick is originally a prostitute, but there's a saying on the West Coast. I think it's like a Cali slang, calling a man a trick. Basically, a man that basically lives out his woman's pockets, right? Because basically you're a trick, right?
10 years now. You ain't heard no stories like that coming out of my house.
Nope.
Brother, you won different many
Nope.
brothers. Almost
Nope. Not one. Not one. I haven't heard it from the apostles. I haven't heard it from the brothers, the elders. Not one. You think? I mean, after 10 or so years, shit starts to slip through the cracks if something's going on. That's what happened to you, Elazar, did it not? So, where is it slipping through the cracks? All right, where's a woman? GMS beat me and took my money. Where are those lessons at? All right, not really lessons, but where are those testimonies at, Elazar? They don't exist. If they were happening, they would exist. Right? Like what was happening with you? Woman talked about you. What was happening with Hakah? Woman blew the whole fucking whistle on that, man. Right? So where's all the whistleblowers for GMS? Right? Where's all the whistleblowers for GMS and the ones that follow GMS? Where's it at? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Brother got a wife.
Want to know why I'm not seeing it? Because it don't fucking exist. That's why. Because you're full of shit. You're full of shit.
Family and kids. The fuck you talking about? You just mad because you're on the outs.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another scheme in this guy.
He's trying to become relevant again. Okay? He's trying to become relevant again. That's really what he wants. He wants to become relevant. All right? He's trying to get in the limelight. He's trying to catch a whiff, all right, of the fucking issue that's going on with Hakah right now, because he's like a little kid. Pick me. Hello, everybody see me over here? Remember me? Nobody's fucking remembering you fucking peg ass. All right, Peggy Sue. All right? No one wants to remember you. Okay?
Trying to shift blame.
Peg Nokio. All right. Peg Nokio. All right. That's the thumbnail. All right. It's fucking Pinocchio. All right. This is you. All right. I threw this together in a Photoshop earlier. And don't worry, I got your favorite team. All right. I made sure to get the right hat. I was just going to throw a regular hat, but I saw, in one of the things that you had the Seahawks in it. So I made sure to get the right hat. All right, so there you go. This is you. And like I said, the title of this lesson, it might be something along this line. It might be this, or it might be something along those lines. It said, GRLA tries to go in on GMS, but lies. And then, of course, you got the guy over here. Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Ooh, oh, my God. Stop fucking lying. Always lying to me. You lying so much. You're making it hard for me. Every time I talk to you, I figure that you're lying. Ooh, it's almost like you're hating. Yeah, I know you're lying, but you sound excited, and I know that you know that you're lying. If you remember that video, man. Ah, that shit was great. Right? So yeah, man. That's you. That's you. Always lying. And of course, that title's piggybacking off of GRLA goes in on GMS and the Deacon scandal. Well, you tried to go in on GMS and you failed. All right, you failed. That was a fucking sorry ass attempt, man. Sorry ass attempt. You know, and the thing is, that's the one of the biggest things about debate is if you're debating an individual and they start lying, that's how you know they ain't got no cause. They have to make up a cause because they ain't got a cause. They have to make some shit up. All right, that shows you that they ain't got a case. All right, all of a sudden you got to lie. You gotta say, oh, we were taught. That came out of GMS. We were taught to talk down to and beat and abuse women. I was never taught to. I've been watching GMS for since I came in. All right, and I came in late 2019. So that's 2019, 2021, or 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, almost 8 years. All right, I believe if you're counting 20, I mean just round up to 20. All right, 2020, all right, and cut off the tail end of 2019. That's when because I wasn't really in it. That's when I found out about it. And the first video that I actually saw, like I said, my wife was in it before I came in it, and she found, what was his name? What was his name? Not Sarnetta. It was, I can't remember the name of the fucking guy. What was that motherfucker's name? Not Sarnetta. It was I can't remember. And then the guy's, but she only watched like a couple of his videos. And again, because someone else had told her of the truth. This is before I even met her. Had told her of the truth, and she was looking into it. And she was looking into man. It was on the tip of my tongue. I almost had his name. It was Anyway, it doesn't matter. It does, but we're gonna move on. We're not gonna waste a bunch of airtime. But she was watching him, but didn't like the videos really too much. And then the individual that was showing them eventually ended up finding GMS and showed them GMS, and they liked GMS. And then they started sending me videos about GMS. And like I said, when I was like, I don't know, this seems a little culty. It seems a little weird to me. A lot of these laws and stuff are like of their time. All right, they're not something that's real. And again, I was just coming out of being an atheist. I was just dancing around to the fact that the Lord exists. And again, off and on, I was never hard atheist. I was always what they consider agnostic atheist. I didn't necessarily believe in God, but also I couldn't disprove him because, again, in order for something to be proved, you have to have a substantial amount of evidence. There's not a substantial amount of evidence, despite what a lot of these atheists want to say. There's not a substantial amount of evidence that the Lord doesn't exist. So I was always under that. I was like, well, I can't prove that he exists, and I can't prove that he doesn't exist. So I was more just not caring. I didn't really care, living my life, doing what I want to do. Basically being carnal, doing what I want to do, living how I want to live, smoking weed, drinking, partying, fucking, doing all that type of shit, and basically in a spirit of mirth as much as I possibly could. That's just how it goes. And right before I met her, I started coming to the conclusion that the Lord probably existed, and that I might have been being punished, for maybe not serving the Lord, or maybe this is all like, maybe the Lord's doing this to me because maybe what I'm doing is wrong or something like that, right? And then I met her, and then at the time she was a Seventh-day Adventist. I met her at a job that I was working at, and she ended up getting hired on, she ended up getting hired on. I ended up talking to her. She ended up telling me about this. I said, I don't know, it sounds a little culty to me. And then eventually, we started, hanging out, and then we started dating eventually, and then she started showing me these videos and stuff, and the videos of GMS, and I said, okay. And then I remember the exact brother that when it first clicked, it was GMS Spiritual Warfare. And his original page, I guess, went down, but because now he has GMS Spiritual Warfare too. But that was the brother that I was watching a lot, and then I watched him for a good chunk, and then I was heavy on Brother Yawan, okay, who at the time was teaching down with Street Teacher. That was his old page, Street Teacher, but Elder Natazatba. All right, if you hear me say Street Teacher, that's because that was his old page, Street Teacher. But yeah, but anyway, that's how I came in was through that, and I lost my fucking point of thought. But anyway, and oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So in all that point from back there, and going on almost 7 years now, I've never heard them say, you need to go out and beat the shit out of your woman. I've never heard them say that. I've never heard them say take all the money you can from your women. I've never heard them say that. I've never heard them say leave your women. I've heard them say if a woman is, a disservice to you, then yeah, get rid of her. It's in the Sirach. If divorce her. Yeah, this is it. Not in the Good News translation, but it's fine enough. All right. Well, I want to get in the regular King James first. It says, from verse 25. Ecclesiastes 25 and 25 to 26. Verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. What does it mean to gad abroad? What does it mean to gad abroad? I spelled that wrong. Gad abroad. Gad abroad. All right. Well, Bible. Okay. Gadding abroad. It says wandering idly, restlessly, aimlessly, pursuit of trivial pleasures. All right. Gossip and frivolous activity. That's what a lot of these women like to do. All right. Don't give her that liberty. Why? Because if you give her the ability to gad abroad, she's eventually, what she's going to do, she's eventually going to end up fucking someone. That's what's gonna happen mostly. Not all women, all right, but always a woman, right? It says use Esau's term back on him, right? Not all blacks, but always a black, right? Well, not all women, but always a woman. It says if she go not as thou wouldst have her, all right, she's constantly bucking up and saying, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna do this. Well, then what? Cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. Now, you're really not supposed to be separated from the woman like that. It would be good if she reconciled to her man, all right, but you can, if that woman's being wicked and stuff like that, you can you can sever her from off you, man. Cut her off from thy flesh. You can cut her off from your flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. So get out of here. All right. Now, biblically, technically, that woman should not get with another man, but she's going to do it anyway because she's already a wicked woman. All right. But yeah, so if a woman's being like that, she's getting in the way of you in this truth. Yeah, you can leave her like that. And that's in the Bible. So what do you have to say about that, Alazar? Are you going to say that's wrong? Okay. This is the Good News translation of those same scriptures, 25 and 26 in Sirach. It says, don't let a bad wife have her way any more than you would allow water to leak from your cistern. Would you want water to leak from your cistern? No, then don't. Why would you let a woman do that? If she won't do as you tell her, divorce her. There you go. So, there's that. But other than that, when did it say abandon your children? There's never been no lessons on abandoning your children. All right? That's because you're a fucking liar. All right? So let's get into this. We'll do a little bit more here. Bear with me just 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll be right back. Run to the bathroom. 1 minute. All right, we're back. So let's get back onto it. Where do we want to go with here? We already played the video. You already got to see what Alazar was saying. Let's do. Okay, so we already got that. I can mark that off. Let's go with. I got a whole bunch of scriptures. I just want to see if I want to play anything else. Let's see. Already got that. Anything on the back? I think we already got Sirach. Yeah, we already got Ecclesiastes. Cool. Well, I don't know if we read it or not, so we're just gonna get it. Oops. Let me see. 1 minute. All right. Accidentally hit my mic cord. I want to make sure we were still recording. So, Ecclesiastes 20 and 24. I remember pulling it up, but I don't remember reading it. So, Ecclesiastes 20 and 24 says, "A lie is a foul blot in a man, yet it is continually in the mouth of the untaught." And Alazar is untaught, man, because he refuses to be taught. All right. Scripture that we've been getting heavily a lot lately. All right. This is Hosea 4 and 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children." So again, a lot of our people, not only are they destroyed for lack of knowledge, it's because they reject knowledge. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to be associated with it. They don't want to be rebuked. They don't want to be reproved. They don't want to be corrected. They don't want to be taught. They don't want to listen. They don't want to learn. They don't want to do none of it. All right. And because of that, the Lord's going to reject them. right? So this guy's untaught because he rejects knowledge. He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to listen to it. Doesn't want to have anything to do with it. But instead, he wants to be a controversy fucking specialist. All right, he wants to go and make videos talking shit. And mind you, if you're gonna talk shit, first of all, at least talk shit about stuff that's actually going on. Don't make you shouldn't have to make up a lie. Okay, that's the biggest takeaway here, Alazar. Well, there's a bunch of big takeaways, but the one takeaway, because you're not going to understand any of the scriptures, and you're not going to be able to get that. Let me give you something, just some worldly advice. If you're going to come against someone and try to say that someone's doing something, bring receipts, all right? I want to see videos. I want to see clips, all right? And amongst those clips, I want actual videos of the full video, or actual links to the full video. Say if you have a clip of the Apostle Gabar saying something about a woman being beat. I want to, if you have a clip of that, that's fine, post it. But I also want to link to the original video where he said that clip, because I want to see the context that it was being spoken on. Right? So bring receipts, all right? Because, and then also don't say some shit that's just blatantly bullshit, all right? Because you go on and say, oh, they're teaching to do it. Well, if that's really happening, please provide the videos where that's being said. You can't provide them because it's not being said, all right? Really, you're just being a controversy specialist, and you're trying to get yourself relevant again. And it's just, anyway, it's just pathetic. It really is. It's just pathetic, man. Stick to gangbanging, because this truth really ain't for you. So let's get, is there anything else? Let's see what the Apostle, what else he has to say.
You tried to sneak through the back door. Your back door bandit, you? Yeah, y'all remember that, right?
All right.
Let's go to the scriptures here.
He said he had no affiliation with. So come on, man.
Yeah, and if you have no affiliation, what are you trying to affiliate yourselves with the truth for? Now you have no affiliation, so stop trying to affiliate, right? Stop trying to affiliate. So I'm not gonna. We've already really seen enough. I'm not gonna go and play the video. If you do so, I recommend downloading an ad blocker. It's very easy. I recommend uBlock Origin. All you got to do is type in uBlock Origin. Okay, and then you just go here, and then if you have Chrome, it'll be able to install it right there, and it's a program that'll help you block ads. I recommend that in general, but another reason why I recommend it is it's going to block ads, and it's going to make it to where this guy can't get money. Even better, if you do that, watch it through a private account. So open it, and then go to open link and private, and then also have your ad blocker set up to where it can run on a private page, an incognito page. Just do that so he's not getting any money from it. Even better if you skip around, because then he's not getting watch time. All right, I'm just telling you what to do, because really, if you can find a source where this is uploaded somewhere else where you're not giving this guy money, because that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get a lot of views to get money. Every time you click on that, you're gonna give that guy money. So anyway, and what this guy is doing is libel. All right,
libel
or libel. All right, I've heard it pronounced libel, but libel. All right, and it's a form of defamation, a written, printed, or broadcasted false statement that damages a person's or entity's reputation, exposes them to public contempt, or harms their livelihood. That's what you're trying to do. Unlike slander, which is spoken, libel involves a permanent or semi-permanent record, such as in articles, online posts, emails, or images. So that's what you're doing. You're doing it in email. So this is libel. All right. And again, to sue for libel, a plaintiff must typically prove defamation, publication, and identification. All right. So defamation, the statement caused measurable damage. All right. Well, you haven't caused any measurable damage, but you've definitely tried to. All right. You've attempted to. It's at least attempted defamation. Publication must be communicated to a third party. There you go. And identification. The targeted person or business can be explicitly identified by the statement. Falsity. It must be factually incorrect. True statements cannot be considered libel, no matter how damaging. So you say, oh, well, GMS has done that. No, because you were doing that pegging kit. All right, so that's not a falsity. Okay, what you're doing right now is a falsity. Okay, so let's get a couple scriptures here. Let's get James 4:7, and it's going to read. Okay, it's not the one. Let's see. See, that's why I usually write notes. I mean, James 4:17 really works. All right, you don't truly know, but James 4:17 says, "Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin." So really, you should know, all right? You should know because you're around GMS, but I guess you don't, right? I guess you don't know at the end of the day. Let's get, let's see. Here's one. Here's one for you, Alazar. This is Proverbs 29:1, and it says, he that being often reproved, someone that, they keep on going off and keep on getting corrected, and they go off and they get corrected, and they go off and they get corrected, and they go off and they get corrected. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. There's not going to be a remedy. If someone corrects you and you buck up against it, and they correct you and you buck up against it, and they correct you and you buck up against it, really you only get 3 chances. All right. He that is a heretic after the I don't even think it's 3. I believe it's first and second admonition. First and second admonition. Come on. Yeah, a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. Why? Because knowing that he is subverted, right? Knowing that he that is such is subverted and sinneth, being condemned of himself. Okay, so you're condemned of yourself, Alazar, because, again, you're subverted. You're subverted. You're right. You're not a part of this truth. You're not associated with the Hebrew Israelites at all. You're just a slander, all right? A slander artist, all right? And a Peggy Sue. Right? So we can mark that one down. So, another thing that I want to do, all right, is just showing you, here's a scripture I learned through Yahweh Shem Shai, through Great Millstone. Maintain. I thought it was maintain. It's Slakia. Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 25 and 22, it says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. So if a woman is in subjection to having to provide for her husband and work a job and provide for him and pay his bills and pay for the groceries and all that, she's going to be full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. So no. And you're not supposed to. A man is supposed to provide, even if a little or a lot, because again, we're not going to be perfect. Some of us can't afford to buy whole houses and cars and stuff like that, but we can provide enough. If we can put food on the table, or buy them food, or buy them certain things, buy them outfits or something, we're taking care of them and providing for them. Okay, as much as we can, at least. There are, again, and we're not in a perfect situation now, because there are times where women are going to have to work and a man's going to have to work to be able to afford an apartment or a home, or whatever situation that they're in, the food or whatnot. But a man should at least be making some type of money, all right, and providing through that way. So let's get so we got that one as well. And then we already got that. So let's get, where do I want to go from here? Let's get Sirach. Since we're already in Sirach, let's get Sirach 12 and 14. Okay. It says, Slakia. Ecclesiastes. Thought it said Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiastes 12 and 14, it says, for Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And what you were doing, Alazar, was an evil thing. All right, you're playing playing cornhole. All right, that's what you were doing, and you shouldn't have been doing that. All right, and the Lord brought that, and that was an evil work, and He brought it into judgment. All right, and that was a secret thing. You didn't want that known, but it got known. Why? Because the Lord wanted it to be known. All right, to strip you of your following base. So let's get Wisdom of Solomon. And like I said, some of these are not necessarily all in order. All right, as how I would have them be. Because again, I was just jotting them down as I went. So it's not going to be all lessons about the Lord revealing, all scriptures about the Lord revealing it, and then other ones about lying. It's kind of just a mixed bag, and we just go with it as we go. Wisdom of Solomon 1:8-9, it says, "Therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance when it punisheth pass by him. For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord, and the manifestation of his wicked deeds." What is manifest? All right, well, actually, what we can do with this is we can get this. Well, no, we're not going to. Well, I guess we can get it in the GNT. This is the Good News Translation. No one who speaks wickedly will escape notice. Notice. Sooner or later, he will receive just punishment. The intentions of the ungodly people will be closely examined. Their words will be reported to the Lord, and then they will get the punishment that their wickedness deserves. There you go, and you're getting a punishment, and you ain't even seen nothing yet, man. All right, because you already got your whole ministry basically taken out, and now you're trying to coast. All right, you're trying to keep it up, but it's just not working. And it's, again, just give it up, man. Just give it up. Let's get Proverbs 19:3. And again, I think we're almost past an hour now, an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah. Proverbs 19:3, it says, "The foolishness of a man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord." And that's what you really, whenever you talk shit against GMS, really you're just talking shit against the Lord, all right? Because GMS teaches sound doctrine. They teach sound teachings, okay? It adds up with the Bible, okay? You might not agree with certain of their opinions, all right? But the teachings stand still. You know, opinion. They might say that someone might say, "Oh, steak's better than chicken," or steak tacos are better than regular. And that's an opinion. All right, you don't have to believe that. All right, but when it comes to scriptural stuff, yeah, you do have to believe that. All right, because it's in the Bible. It's being proved. You don't have to believe in opinions. And the Lord, and they usually let it be known. They'll say, "Oh, it's just my opinion, all right, that I have this, so you can throw it away if you want." You'll hear brothers talk about that. And when I have an opinion, I say, "You can throw it away if you want." All right, so you don't have to necessarily listen to opinions. You should listen to sound advice, though, if it's coming through scripture. But opinion, like, "Oh yeah, pepper is better on steak than or you should put cayenne pepper on a steak because it tastes really good." It does. I've done that before, just a little bit. Do you have to listen to that? No. Is that scriptural that you should put cayenne on steak? No. So you don't have to take it because it's just worldly stuff. But if you took that advice, you'd find out that a little bit of cayenne on steak actually is pretty good. To me, at least, right? Again, because that's my opinion. But salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, and a little bit of cayenne. All right, that's what I usually put on my steaks, and I sear them on both sides and cook them until well done. Well done, yes, because I don't eat raw meat with blood in it. All right, barely a strip of pink at most, and that's it. Where are we going now? So false witness. Let's go to Lamentations. 3:39 through 40. And then what else do I got? Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much okay. So Lamentations 3:39 through 40, it says, "Wherefore doth a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord." Really, that's something that happened to you that you should have said, "Oh yeah, I was being really wicked and tried to turn to the Lord." Really, it was really a big one. All right, but that's something you should have done. You should have said, "Okay, I was really bad on that." But no, instead you became a slander artist. Okay, that's what you became. So again, that's. You were punished for the things that you were doing, and then you got upset about being revealed. We can't help you with that, man. Then if you don't want something revealed, don't do it then. All right, if you're doing something that you wouldn't want revealed, don't do it. But to go and try to make your save face by going and lying, all right, that's just wicked as hell, man. Bear with me. I had to turn on the light. So Proverb, and the Lord hates lying. Okay. it says Proverbs 6:16 through 19. It says, these 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. So he hates them, and they're also classified as an abomination, something detestable, wrong, you should not do. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Okay, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, and you devised a wicked imagination against the apostles, the elders, and brothers of GMS. All right. Feet that be swift in running to mischief, and that's what you do, right? You're the same ninja that you've always been, as you said, right? False witness that speaketh lies, there it is again, Alazar, and he that soweth discord among brethren, and that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to sow discord, all right? But it's not working, man. All these still come from the book of Proverbs. This one's going to be in 14 and verse 5. This one says, a faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. So that's one for you, Alazar. A faithful witness will not lie. You wouldn't have to lie. You'd have videos of the apostle Tahar, Apostle Bar, saying, you know what you should do? You're gonna beat the shit out of your wife. Just fucking pound her right in the fucking face. Bam, bam, bam. You'd have a video of that. But guess what? There's no video like that because it doesn't exist. All right. So you had to make a lie. All right, because you have a false witness, so you had to make up a lie, or else your witness, you wouldn't have had no witness, not even a false one, to bear, right? And then Proverbs 19 and 9, and that's probably one of the heaviest scriptures for you out of this lesson, Alazar, is a faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. You had to utter lies. You had to utter lies. Because why? You don't have a fucking case, man. So give it up. And then here's one. I always get this one. We get this one all the time because it shows you ultimately the punishment of a false witness. All right, trying to cause some type of evilness to happen against these brothers, right? These elders and apostles and great men. All right, really ambassadors of Yahushai. All right, you're trying to do something against Yahushai's men. All right, which is wicked as shit. Proverbs 19 and 9. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. And you've done a whole bunch of shit, Alazar. You've spoke lies, you've stuck shit up your ass, you know, you've tried to create controversies, you gangbang, you admit that you've never changed, you know, that you're not anointed, you don't have the Holy Spirit, your lights out, all right, you have no oil, and really you fucking keep on trying to come around people that do have the oil, so fuck off, stay away. All right, so let's get Psalms 109 and 2 and 3, through 2 and 3, excuse me. It says, for the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful, that's you, Alazar, are opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They compassed me about also with words of hatred and fought against me without a cause. And that's what you're doing towards the great men of Great Millstone. Okay? That's what you're doing. All right? That's what you're doing. And those of us that learn from Great Millstone, all right, because we have the truth through Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he's led us to those men, we take great offense of that, take great offense in that as well, okay? Because again, if you hate one of us, you hate all of us, okay? Because again, if you hate them, you damn sure hate me, right? You can add me to the list of people that you hate because I'm talking against you now, right? And you know, again, and not that you're going to have any specific big issue with me at the end of the day. You might say something. There's a chance it could come up on the comment board, but doubtful because, again, I don't have a big follower base, and there's not much money you could make from having a controversy, right? So you got to go the apostles of Great Millstone. They're the ones, you know, they're always the target of the blame games, all right? Why? Because, you know, they're the face of Great Millstone. So when you're the face, you know, you have a following base. People are more than likely to go check it out. You know, people know the names Apostle Dahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramallah. All right, they know those names. I believe Apostle Rakah as well. So you know, you have all the you know, the big heavy hitters, right? The names that you can throw out. All right, primarily you see it with Apostle Gabar and Apostle Dahar. Right, those the big ones that you see. Really, prominently, you see it a lot with Apostle Harp specifically, right? Being that he is the head. So, let's get Proverbs 10 and 18. Then we're going to shut this down. Proverbs 10 and 18, it says, he that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth slander is a fool. Okay, you're a fool, Alazar. You're a fool. Okay, you can go and look up what the word slander means. We really talked about it earlier with LaBelle. Slander's a little bit different, but I guess we can define it again. Slander. Okay, a type of defamation that occurs when someone makes a false spoken statement, right? That's what happens, right? And it usually talks about damaging reputation, and you're not damaging shit. But that's what you've done, man. That's what you're trying to do. So again, Gorilla, GRLA gets rebuked, loses arguments. Goofy reprobate, lacking anointing, and then general retarded lion ass. All right, that's one of my personal favorites. Generally retarded lion ass, and that's what you are. You're generally retarded, and you're a lion ass demon, right? So that's where we're gonna close out, right? The Lord one was edifying. All right. I don't really have anything else to say. That's it, man. That's it. So, you full on just fucking lied. So, congratulations. And that's it, man. That's it. So, I'll probably shut down there. I mean, I could curse you, right? But at the end of the day, the Lord's already got you under the sniper scope, man. We don't have to do anything because really what you've done, you're talking against the Lord. So that's where we're going to close out. Lord, when it was edifying, again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. All these reprobates are going to get shut down and shut out and destroyed. Until next one, Lord willing, Shalom.